Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today to go over the Illinois Legislative Latino Caucus Foundation's Soy El Futuro Scholarship and Leadership Program application for the program year of 2025. We're really excited to have you here today so that you can be informed on how to complete the best application for this year's scholarship. We're so excited that you're interested in applying, so let's dive into it. This is going to be a presentation to answer some of the most common questions that we usually have students emailing us for when they are in the process of applying. If there are any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to our scholarship and program manager or an ILLCF staff member. You can reach us by emailing info@illcfoundation.org, and then we can transfer you to the appropriate person. But thank you so much. So just a little bit about the Illinois Legislative Latino Caucus Foundation. We are a 501c3 non-for-profit organization whose mission has always been to foster the next generation of Latino leadership while advocating for the needs and wants of the Latino community. Since we've been founded in 2022, our main goal has really been to serve as the public policy arm of the Latino Caucus to really promote equitable public policy making that will support thriving Latino communities across the state of Illinois. We have three main program areas, which include the Soy El Futuro Scholarship and Leadership Program, which includes our scholarship that we're talking about today, a Raices public policy work, which includes our annual conference, our annual Raices report, and a couple other growing programs within that, and then our Platicas program, which really serves as an opportunity to learn about different issues impacting several sectors or different sectors and how that intersects with the Latino community. So let's jump into the timeline of the scholarship. As you know, our scholarship opened on May 8th, and that usually opens and falls within Latino Unity Day that happens every year in Springfield. We're intentional about that. So we usually open on that May 8th, and then through the month of May, June, and then early July, we have our application open for folks to apply. Our application closes on July 3rd, so right before the 4th of July, because we know holidays can sometimes impact our ability to get that in, so we make sure to do it right before then. And then that leads into where our scholarship reviewers jump in. And so our packets are prepared for our reviewers. And then we have a three-stage review process. So we start with our alumni committee, then it goes to our board, and then for any final reviews that may need to be done, it will go to staff. In September and October, our winners are both selected and notified. And then in late October of this year, we will have our leadership development training. In November, all of our awardees each year are invited to attend our annual gala and are celebrated on stage in front of almost 1,000 people. And then in December, we typically have everything closed at that point. Checks will have been sent to the respective college, university, or program, and then you're a part of the Alumni Association. So let's jump into our scholarship. As you probably have seen, whether on our website or on flyers, every scholarship recipient receives a $5,000 scholarship, and they also receive leadership and development training in conjunction with attending our annual gala every year. After they receive the scholarship, we invite them to be a part of our Alumni Association committee. And so those are kind of the fun aspects of our scholarship program. But let's talk about what that looks like and what you need to do to be eligible to apply for our scholarship. Anybody who is applying for our scholarship needs to be currently enrolled either as a part-time or full-time student in a certificate, vocational, technical, associate, undergraduate, or graduate program at an accredited college, university, or institution. Depending on your program of study, you will have different supplementary requirements. We will dive into this a little bit more later on. You also need to be of Latino ancestry, but you may be of any race. You may not have received the Illinois Legislative Latino Caucus Foundation Scholarship before, your home residence must be in Illinois, and then students, regardless of immigration status, are eligible to apply. We do ask that your application is submitted in complete totality when you sit down. So that will mean that all your supplementary materials, your letter of recommendation, all of the questions that we want answers to are fully answered before you submit. It will not allow you to complete your application unless you have those materials that are required included in your application. So let's jump in between the differences of our 3 applications. As I mentioned, it is one link, but depending on the program of study, you will have different supplementary materials. So if you are in a certificate, vocational, or technical program, you will be asked to submit a business or professional plan. This is really an exercise to just get you thinking. We provide a template, an overview of kind of what we're looking for, and it is really short, but again, we're just trying to see, using your education, what ideas and creativity do you have? And so that's what that business or professional plan is used for. In addition, we do ask for a short writing question, which is, what difference will this education make in your personal life and for your family? And we're looking for at max 250 words. For our bachelor's and associate's degree, we're asking for a personal statement. This is, again, max 1,000 words. And we're asking you to describe how receiving this scholarship would help you achieve your educational career goals, but also not only that, how will it advance your personal growth and impact your community at large? And then for our graduate level program, so our master's students and PhD students, we're asking, how will you use your educational and professional experiences to better the Latino community in your respective field? And so again, we're looking max 1,000 words there. We do include an optional question. So, there are several different experiences that we know students have. And so we're committed to supporting diverse experiences of Latinos in Illinois. And so if there's any information that we don't ask in our application, we provide an opportunity for you to provide that insight. This doesn't have any points, but this really allows students to shed light on potential circumstances that they've recently experienced or have experienced that may reflect some things that you are putting in your application. For an example, if you're someone who's going back to school, so you don't have recent experience in extracurricular activities, this might be an area where you can say, I don't have extracurricular activities because I'm working multiple jobs. So anything like that that may be of interest to help tell your story a little bit better. For graduate students, we do have 2 optional questions where you can put invited talks and presentations. So have you presented at any conferences or presented any workshops or webinars to a particular community? We'd love to know what you've done. And in addition to that, do you have any research that you've done, are submitting, or a research project like a thesis or a dissertation that you want to include? This is optional for you to include this. And then as well, if you're an undergraduate student or a vocational technical student, you can also answer these questions if, let's say, you have your own project, but we know that this is common in graduate school. Next, we have our letter of recommendation. And so all applicants are required to submit a letter of recommendation along with any additional specific materials that we just talked about. Your letter of recommendation must be submitted at the time of your application. And so now is a great time to already ask the person that you're wanting to write you this letter so that when you're ready to sit down and submit the application, you already have everything that you need to submit. When you're submitting your application, you're also going to be required to put your recommender's full name, their organization, an email address, and if you have a phone number, we ask for that. And really that's just to make sure that your reference knows that you are able to submit your application, and they do receive notification that you have submitted your application and that they use your letter. Your letter of recommendation can come from a variety of different folks. We understand that we have a lot of different people that may have an impact or knowledge on who we are as a person and can contest to our merit. And so this can be from a teacher, a professor, an academic advisor, an employer, a mentor, or maybe someone that you volunteer with, an advisor, a team leader, someone who can really attest to your skills, your merit, and why they think that you are going to make a difference in your community. So now we're gonna take a step away from this part of our presentation and actually go through the application so you can see what you are visually seeing when you fill out our application. The application sample that you're about to see is identical to the 2025 ILCF online application, so it should not look any different. All right, so when you open up the 2025 Illinois Legislative Latino Caucus Foundation scholarship application, you are going to see a lot of words. And really what this is showing is those eligibility criteria that we've already gone over. So are you enrolled in an accredited institution or university or college, either part-time or full-time, and in one of these program areas? We also ask that you are, of course, Latino, but you may be of any race, and that you are ready to go with your letter of recommendation and so forth. By you reading this and seeing this, we're assuming that you did review it before sitting down to do your application. We then jump into your personal information. So we want to have your name, your personal email address. Do not use your school email address. We next want to have, and we're interested in knowing where you heard about our scholarship, just so we can continue to push those channels and continue to spread the word. This is where we get in. The next questions are where we get into the eligibility criteria. So as you can see, have you received the ILCF scholarship before? Do you have a parent or parents of Latino ancestry? Optional, but specifying your family's country of origin. And then if your home residence is Illinois. And again, at the bottom, you'll see that students, irregardless of immigration status or DACA recipients whose home residence in Illinois are eligible to apply. Next, we get into more personal information. Next, we get into more personal information. So your home address, your phone number, your date of birth, your gender, and then we do put an optional question for you to put your LinkedIn profile link. Again, if you're someone who actively uses your LinkedIn, this could be a great way to showcase some of the things that aren't typically asked on a scholarship application. So if you're attending events in the community or so forth, provide that so that the reviewer can see what you're doing in your free time. Next, we have academic information. So you'll choose which program that you are currently seeking education through. So certificate, technical, vocational trade, undergraduate or associates, graduate, or a graduate degree. From there, we'll do the college or institution name, your student ID, the address of your financial aid office. It is for the financial aid office. So should you get this scholarship, we will be sending checks directly to your school. And so we need that address. And then additionally, dates of attendance. So if you are going from May of 2025 to August of 2026, that's kind of what we would like to see. Next, we're looking for your cumulative grade point average, your major, your minor, if you have one, and then your anticipated date of graduation. So again, if I'm graduating in August of 2026, I will put August 2026. Next, we'll go into some of the broader categories of anything that we may have received or do in our free time. So as you'll see, we have a question on any honors, awards, or special recognition that we have received, whether that's in school or in employment or so forth. Then we jump into extracurricular activities. We're really defining an extracurricular activity as any activity outside of traditional coursework, in addition to outside clubs, internships, personal hobbies, or supporting or caregiving for someone in your family. Additionally, we're asking questions on community service. So describe any community service activities that you have participated in the organization, maybe some responsibilities that you've had, the dates that you volunteered with them. And this can include stuff outside of traditional volunteer work. And so maybe you have involvement in certain clubs at a higher level, churches or community-based institutions and organizations. Let us know that. This is where we have those questions for any research projects or invited talks or presentations, so you can include that there. And then here's that optional question where, if there's anything that we haven't already asked that you want to provide some shed light on, this is where we can take that information. Then we'll jump into asking for your portrait. This is really helpful to put a face to a name, to kind of show us the person that application that we're reading. So please put a portrait in, and it might be a great opportunity to update your LinkedIn profile. Next, we'll be jumping into financial need. So to the best of your knowledge, we're looking for estimated financial needs for your current academic school year. And while financial need is an important factor in our assessment, lack of financial need is not necessarily a disqualifier, but it does help us let us know kind of why this scholarship may be important to you. So we're looking for your estimated annual cost to attend school, your annual household income, whether or not your parents are helping support you financially through school. If they are, then how much are they supporting you with? If they're not supporting you, this is where you'd put 0. Total amount of employment income that will go towards educational expenses, the total amount of scholarships or awards for 2025 and 2026 school year, the total amount of student loans taken out, and then any optional supporting financial documents. So if you have any financial documents such as like FAFSA or a financial need letter or so forth, putting that in there just to provide further examples, but it's not required. Next, we're really interested in learning who your state senator and who your state representative are. As you know, the Illinois Legislative Latino Caucus Foundation has 17 state legislators on our board. So we want to see if one of our board members is one of your elected officials. There's a link for you to find that. And so please use the link that is listed there. Next, we're going to be jumping into our business or our supplementary materials, but for those who are completing an application for certificate, vocational, technical, or trade, they will be asked to do the business professional plan. So again, this is more of an exercise for you to think through this. There is a downloadable PDF, as you'll see right there in purple. And then we have resources. So we have a business plan cheat sheet. We also have a couple of different helpful links from the U.S. Small Business Association website, and then a Forbes template for a business plan. Make sure that your business template is in PDF format. And if you need to convert that, we provide information on how to do that linked there. In addition to those who are doing the business plan, they will also have to answer the short question of what difference will this education make in your personal life and for your family. So you will only see this top question if you are doing the certificate, technical, vocational, or trade program area. If you're someone who is doing a bachelor's or an associate's, then we will be asking you to please describe how receiving an ILLCF scholarship would help you achieve your educational career goals, advance your personal growth, or impact your community. And again, max 1,000 words. And then the writing prompts for graduate students is, how will you use your educational and professional experience to better the Latino community in your respective field. This is where we get to our reference letter information. So as mentioned, we will have the contact name, their email, if you have their phone number, and then you will upload their letter of recommendation here. And then lastly, we ask that you read the following message so that you are basically stating that you meet the basic eligibility requirements of the scholarship program, that you are authorizing us, and that if we need to verify any accuracy, we can, but that you are also being factual in the application that you submitted. If there are any questions, there is an email there for the Next Gen program at illcfoundation.org. And then you will sign your application and date it. And then from there, you are done. Here is the template for the foundation's business professional plan template. And essentially what you'll see is we're looking for an overview of what professional or business idea you might have, coming up with a mission statement, and kind of jumping through some common things that you might have to think through if you were starting an actual business. We have an example here, or this is the cheat sheet. And so as you can see, a mission statement is a summary of what your business or organization aims to do and values. And so using some of those links that we provided, those can help further provide insight on what might be a good mission statement, or what is the problem that you're trying to solve, or who might be your competition, and so forth. Here's an example. An identity of a business might be that we are wood and grain toys, and we manufacture high quality hardwood toys for children aged 3 to 10. Our target market is going to be parents and adults and grandparents who want to buy this for their kids. And some expenses that we might have are the materials to build those toys, craft fair fees and travel costs if I'm going to farmers markets or something. And then if I need to keep this in a warehouse, those are some things that come to mind. Again, we're looking for an overview, just showing that you can think creatively about a potential business idea or plan. It can be related to your program of study, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. And from there, those are our examples of our business templates. If there are any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the Soy El Futuro coordinator, Juan Carlos. So I'll let him quickly say hello here.
Oh, hello everyone. Hello Liz. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. You did a magnificent job. One of the things I just want to say, we're looking forward to reading your application. We're always very glad, and we're here to help advance your career as a leader in our community. One of the things that I want to emphasize about the application is that many times the students do not give us enough details about themselves. So please, that's why there's the optional question where you can give us extra details. We really would, want to give the scholarships to as many students as possible. But if you don't give us enough details, then, we don't have much to work with. So please, if there's anything, that any extraordinary circumstance in your life that will help you stand out from the other students, that makes a big difference when we read your application. But you have to tell us, because a lot of times we read so many applications that if you don't tell us that you have a difficult time, or like Liz said, like if you're working, perhaps you don't have extracurricular activities, but please specify that. If you have kids, if you have to babysit your brothers, sisters, cousins, your mom, your dad is sick, that you always have to help them, make sure that you tell us in that application, because that makes a big difference. And also, I know a lot of students sometimes, we're not used to reaching out to the recommenders. Like in our culture, sometimes, we're afraid of asking. Please don't be afraid. Reach out to them. I know sometimes, you might seem that you're asking too much, but really, they're there to help you. I'm sure that, sometimes they're busy. So reach out to them all the time and don't be afraid, because sometimes that's also why a lot of students do not submit their applications. So don't be afraid. Reach out to us. Give us a lot of details. And again, we all here are looking forward to reading your applications. It's a very exciting time for us. So, and if you have any questions besides the email that is in the presentation, you can also email info@illcfoundation.org. So thank you so much. Liz, I'll give back to you.
Awesome. So again, thank you so much for taking the time to join us for this webinar. We are really excited to receive your application, and just remember that the deadline is July 3rd. So don't wait, be proactive, go ask your recommender for a letter of recommendation, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you so much.